Good morning. This is going to be a double lesson. So one for 7th grade and one for 8th grade. You're studying the same thing right now, so hopefully you got your preposition songs passed out and you sang through those a couple of times. This is review. You've done this before. Keep that page handy. You're going to need it. So today we're starting our lesson on prepositions and prep phrases. So the thing you need to learn, we've got our 5 parts of speech so far. Noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb. We finished the really, really hard stuff. So now we're moving into preposition is our number 6. The only job a preposition has is to start a prep phrase. So you remember that if there's no phrase, it's not a prep. So a preposition, its only job is to start a phrase. And if you remember, I don't know if you can see my board, hopefully you can, I'll read it to you. If you remember with a prep phrase, so if I write my notes, it starts with one of our preposition words. So on your list you have 52, and that's not even all of them. There are some compound ones we won't talk about today, but you have 52 samples you can choose. So if you remember either the song or you remember our little bunny rabbit trick, right? Anything the rabbit does, it can go over, it can go under, it can go around, it can go nearby, it can go to something and go from something. So if you think you're a little rabbit, that'll help you. But it starts with one of those words. So if I start with the word at, that's one of my preposition words. To be a preposition, though, it has to do a whole phrase. To be a phrase, it starts with a prep, ends with a what or a who. So we call that our object of the preposition, our OP. And it's usually a noun or a pronoun, right? Noun, pronoun, annoying little brother of the noun. So wherever a noun can go, a pronoun wants to go. So if I have a starting of a prep phrase at, I need to finish the little thought. I need to go all the way to a what. At what? So I can say at the zoo, right? At is my prep word. Prep. Zoo is my thing. That's my OP. And whenever we're dealing with sentences, if you remember from last year, the year before, we set these apart because a lot of times we won't need them right away or we need them for other jobs. So we set them apart by putting them in parentheses. So we're going to do the same thing. So I have a few sample sentences. I'm going to change colors to blue, let's say. So if we have Mel ate the cookie with the red sprinkles or with red sprinkles. Usually I say we read the sentence, we find our who, we find our what, but when we're dealing with preps, this is our quick skip. Once you read the sentence and understand it, make sure you know the words, then you can go through and start picking out those prep phrases and get them out of the way so that they don't trip you up when you're looking for subjects or when you're looking for verbs or direct objects or things later on. So in our first one, Mel ate the cookie with red sprinkles. If we're thinking about our rabbit, the rabbit ran. And is there anything in here that's on our prep list or that we could do with our rabbit? Obviously you can't hear me or I can't hear you echo back, but with. So with is one of our prep words. We start at the with, we go all the way to the thing. So I say with what? With sprinkles. This is my OP. And if you remember, we can have extra words. I know there's a little bit of a glare, but this word red can fit in here as well. Red can modify our object of a preposition. It can be an adjective, can point to it, tells me which one or what kind. All right, the next sentence I have up here, I should have a period at the end of this one. I walked to the park. Again, make sure you understand the sentence. We're looking for those prep words. So the rabbit ran to the park. We've got to. So here's our prep word. So we start there with our parenthesis, right? To what? And that's how we find our OP. To what? The park. OP. And we finish it off. So our simple sentence is just I walked. Or the one ahead of us was Mel ate the cookie. These are our simple sentences. All right, last one, and then I will let you get to your assignment. But Bill found treasure in the chest under the X. This is one piece that I do want to show you because it might show up in some of your assignments for today. I think 8th grade for sure. There's some of the 7th grade. There might be some in yours as well. But Bill found treasure in the chest under the X. We're going to buddy up our prep phrases. So our first one, the rabbit ran. The first one we come to is in, in what? The chest. So there's my OP. So here's my first prep phrase. But there's 2 of them in here. 2 of them. Under, we have in the chest, and then we have under the X. So under is my prep word. And under what? X. This one is being our OP. Sometimes you need to figure out what they're describing. I don't know if you have to do that much of that today. I think we'll hold off on that. But just so you know, you've got the two that could be, but we could go over and over. If you've heard that song, like Over the River and Through the Woods to Grandmother's House, we go. You've got 3 prep phrases, back to back to back to back to back. We're doing the same thing here, right? So we've got in the chest, under the X, we could say by the log, near the house, with the broken root. We could layer these on and on and on and on. So your assignments today that I want you to work very carefully at, 8th grade, you're going to be on page 39 and 40 today. So 39 and 40, your job is going to be putting those prep phrases in parentheses. If you look in the instructions, it asks you to find the prep, just underline it. I don't want you to do that, so listen carefully. In your sample sentences, so first one, it says, I placed the lawnmower in a corner of the garage. I want you to find the whole prep phrase, not just the prep word, the whole phrase, and mark it off with parentheses. So in some of these sentences, you're going to have 2 prep phrases. Some of them just 1, but some of them you're going to have 2. So you should have sets of parentheses. Don't follow the instructions on exercise 1. So for your homework, I would like you to do 1 and 2 on page 39, and then exercise 2 on the back. Okay, 1, 2, 2. That's your assignment, 8th grade. 7th grade, what was that? 7th grade, you're doing the same kind of thing. I still want you also to do the parentheses, just like this. I want you to put parentheses around your prep phrases. So I would like you to do exercise 1 and 2 on the front of page 37. So 37, 1 and 2. And then on the back side, I would like you to do exercises 1 and 2 as well. So all they're asking you to do is change out the preposition word for something else that makes sense. You do not need to rewrite the whole sentence. If you'd like to just swap out the prep for something else, that's fine. So for example, 7th grade on page 38, the ticket holders waited patiently outside the theater. Our prep phrase in there, outside the theater. So if I'm going to swap that out for a different prep phrase, the ticket holders waited patiently under the boat. I don't know what you want to put in there, but you can get silly. Just make sure that you're following the instructions, finding the existing. So I'd like you to put in parentheses the existing one, and then on the line write a new prep phrase. Hopefully that makes sense for you. But work together, work well, behave, be respectful, be polite. If you finish early, you have independent reading you can work on. You've got prep songs you can memorize. I'm sure you've got other activities for other classes. So behave, be nice, work on your prep phrases. See you tomorrow.